What's up guys, it's Cobalt here and welcome back to another video. In today's video I have a brand new LPS set to unbox with you guys, and here it is. Well, okay, it's not brand new, but it is new in the box, and as you can see this is a fairy LPS set. These came out at the very end of G2, and I thought it would be interesting to make a video on these guys because I don't think I've really ever talked about the fairy LPS at all on my channel. I mean, obviously I've talked about the dragons, and those are definitely the best thing to come out of this wave of pets, but I feel like the fairies themselves don't really get a lot of attention, and I kind of want to use this video as a little way to look back into the past and see if maybe these are something that BasicFun could eventually bring back in the future as well. But who knows, we'll see. They definitely need a lot of improvements in my opinion, but I'll get to that once we actually open up these guys. Obviously the dragon Littlest Pet Shops were from the fairy wave. They're a little bit different than these guys because they still have the bobbly head while all the other fairies do not, and obviously BasicFun has technically brought these back in the form of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive pets from last year. But without further ado, let's get on to unboxing this package and talk about these pets a little bit further. So here is the package. I actually think the packaging itself is super well designed and really cute. I of course love the little box art right here. This comes with LPS number 2704 and 2705, and this is the Shimmering Skies set. I think all the little stars and the coloring and the patterning of this packaging is super cute, and I also really love the fun shape of it. It's like a very flowy shape that definitely fits the fairy vibe. And again, I love the little art right here, and of course the art of this fairy up here. That's actually one of my favorite fairies. I think she is so cute. And of course, here is what the back of the packaging looks like. We can see a couple of the other fairies that you can collect. I also really love this dog right here, and I mean, I think they're all really cute. I especially love the artwork on them. You can see the little guys from the package there, and here is everybody else. So as you can see down here, these are from 2011, so I was about to say not super old, but then again, that was still over 10 years ago, so that's wild. And here we have a little blurb about the Shimmering Skies set, and it says, high above the clouds and far beyond the seas, there's a special land that the LPS pets dream about. It's a place where fairies and other magical creatures live. With shimmer and stripes, fairies spread cheer throughout the world and keep the sun shining bright. Wow, I had no idea that these fairy LPS had lore like that. That's kind of cute. I've noticed recently that from unboxing a lot of these older sets from G2 that they all have like a little paragraph on the back or something that like gives details about the LPS or like a little backstory. And I think that's really fun. It's kind of a good like storytelling starter as well, which is obviously what the LPS community is all about. So I think if BasicFun wanted to implement something like that on their future packaging, that would be really fun as well. And again, like there's so many details on the back of this box that I just think is so fun that most other LPS, even from this same generation, do not have on their packaging. But now we're gonna rip into this packaging and destroy it and get these pets out of here. No, I'm not gonna destroy it. I will respectfully open the package. But still, let's get them out. See, check that out. I was able to open it in a way that still perfectly preserves the packaging. And here is everything that is inside. I just realized this set does not come with any accessories. I totally thought it did, but I guess I was just being distracted by how detailed the actual packaging itself was. But it just comes with the two pets, the main sized fairy here, and the little tiny guy right there. And this guy, the little ladybug, he is not tied in with anything, but the other fairy you can see is tied in with a paper tie. So, you know, this is actually a pretty well preserved nib because it's paper. A lot of the old ones that I've already unboxed, they're tied in with rubber bands, and those degrade over time so quickly and they just end up getting disgusting. But this guy is pretty well secured in there still. All right, there's our little bug. If you're wondering how I acquired this pretty nice condition new unbox set, I bought this off of eBay and it only cost me like 15 bucks. There's actually quite a few new unbox fairy sets up on eBay. But really quickly, before we take a look at the pets, we gotta take a look at the checklist because I think that's kind of the most fun thing about these old sets, except this is gonna be cursed because it's got G3 LPS on it. Oh no. Oh, but there is a lot of cute artwork in here. There we go. So you can see a lot of the fairies here that were on the back of the box, but in their actual physical form. I'm already noticing a prototype. There's a prototype of the little ladybug that we got. It's supposed to be the opposite color, which I kind of think is cuter because it looks like a watermelon. I mean, even this guy looks a lot different than the one that we got. Very interesting. I remember having this one, and I love this one's design as well. And then here's the one that I said that I liked from the box art, and I had this one too. And then here's some more. So these were some of the bigger play sets. A lot of these fairies had glitter as well. The one that we have does not have glitter. Here's another one up here with more of the little guys. LPS. And then on the other side, there's artwork of pets. These are actually all teensy LPS. Here's some more up here. The little mouse is very cute. I think maybe doing a video about teensies would be really fun as well. Oh, wow. There is an advertisement for the Littlest Pet Shop YouTube channel. That's kind of wild. Don't think I've ever seen that in a checklist. Then we have the characters from their show. Oh, that's so cursed. And then we have the god-awful G3 LPS. And these are like the Magic Motion pets from this time. Bro, what is that? What is that? That is not a Littlest Pet Shop. What the hell? Wow. Okay, not a very interesting checklist, I guess. Who's this bunny, though? I've never seen her before. It's a walkable, but I do definitely remember when this era of Littlest Pet Shops were on store shelves, though. Weird times. And here is the fairy. Wow, look at them. So I'll just talk about the little bug here first. It's a little mini LPS. The smaller LPS that are not quite teensies were also released in G2, and that's also something that I'm kind of curious to see if will ever be brought back, especially because, like, you know, we had the mom and the baby sets, and these guys were part of that. Obviously, these are the fairy versions, but LPS of the similar size. This one obviously isn't as detailed. It's just two simple colors. It would have been nice to see, like, the spots and stuff filled in, or even for the eyes to have a color. It's a little bit of a different style. They're just black and white, which is interesting. He still has a rotating head, but I think he's pretty cute. It would make for an interesting custom, perhaps. And he's got all his little legs there, and then obviously there's a hole on the bottom as well, so you can stick him on some of the play sets. But now let's talk about the fairy LPS. If you guys are fans of the fairies, please let me know below in the comments because I'm genuinely curious. I think that they're really cute, especially from a customizer standpoint. There's like a lot of really interesting things that you can do with these guys, but I would love them so much more if they had bobbly heads, but they do not. So this is definitely the transition point between G2 and G3. Like I said, these were made at the very end of the G2 line because Hasbro was trying something new to desperately attempt to save the brand, but instead they did a total 180, brought in G3, which are like the ugliest Littlest Pet Shops to ever exist, and basically killed themselves until BasicFun showed up and started re-releasing the pets now. But yeah, I think that like the design and the body proportions and the creativity that went into designing these guys is super cool, but I just don't get why there's no bobblehead. This one also has some metallic paint, which I didn't even realize. The white on the feet and on the wings and on the hair here is like a really light metallic color. And I also really like this one's eyes. They're a little bit fuzzy as well. So I'm just gonna take his head off, honestly. There we go. So yeah, this is what the body looks like without the head. I'm sure all you guys watching this know this already, but for whatever reason, if you're not familiar with these LPS at all, if you're a brand new collector, yeah, these existed at one point and this is what they looked like. Their heads could still turn, obviously, but there's just no bobble, and I feel like that's the whole point of LPS is you gotta have the bobble, you guys. But yeah, interesting details. It's not my favorite fairy, but I still think it's cute, and it was fun to unbox it in this quick little video, and I like the little guy. He's very cute. Now the fairy's decapitated, so I'm gonna have to put its head back on later. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, comment down below your opinions on these sets in general, and also if you think that BasicFun should ever bring these guys back. I think that they should be brought back only if they're given bobbleheads, but if they're not, then I don't think so. But that is my personal opinion. So let's start a conversation down below in the comments, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.